For everybody who wants to know where the Gypsy Rose Blanchard toothbrush thing came from, it came from this right here, her testimony. If you read this page, it's actually page 129 out of the 417 page Circuit Court Appeals for Nicholas Godejohn. You can see down here how a lot of the testimony that she gave at his trial was actually false, and how a lot of it is stated right here. And some of the videos, which some places it says over 100, other places over 150. And there is a list, a documented list with the sheriff's department that has all of these videos. But what's crazy is that this right here proves that she wasn't just this slave, that she was initiating the whole R of Nick herself. And she was introducing herself as different characters, including Demona, who was the dominant and who was telling Nicholas what to do. And she was the one that was exuding all of this power and manipulation over him. This down here, though, talks about a specific video where she is using sexual behavior to manipulate Nicholas Godejohn into believing that she loved him. You know what my dad used to always say? He used to always say that women will give sex for love and men will give love for sex. And while that can be a really distinctive main difference between women and men certainly need love too. And they want love, and they're deserving of love. And when people have never had that their entire life and they think that they found it, and they have mental disability, mental health issues, they have level 2 autism or level 3 autism, they are already in a vulnerable state. And that's exactly what these videos were. It's not that, just a year prior was the whole thing with this elaborate plan to take her mother's life came about. Remember, she spent almost 3 years doing this kind of manipulation to make him complacent when she finally was ready to bring up the whole idea to him. So that 2 years prior in context very much matters, because that 2 years of believing this was his girlfriend and that she very much loved him and that all of these things were happening to her really set the stage for what was to come. And it is argued that Nicholas Godejohn knew a lot more about her, talked to her a lot more, was one-on-one with her more, and had an almost 3-year-long relationship. Most of her friends and associates, now out of prison, have barely been with her over a year. But in this said video, she's using an electric toothbrush. And it says this in more than one area about the toothbrush, because she was using it to pleasure herself in the video. Yeah. Everything this girl does is somehow revolved around pickles. Eating pickles, sucking pickles, riding pickles. I mean, this girl literally let not only her whole husband come inside of her, a whole entire ex-fiance prison pen pal in the same time frame. And it even says where she appears to very much be enjoying herself and not engaging in this activity simply to indulge Nicholas. This is her initiating this entire video. This is her making this kind of content and privately sending it to him. This is very much curated for Nicholas Godejohn. Remember that. These videos were not curated for me or for anybody else, her dad. These were curated for Nick. Why is that important? Because Nicholas Godejohn is the one that helped her. He is the one that is serving life in prison right now, ultimately for her crime. Her crime. By the very definition and legal standard, anybody over the age of 18 who knowingly causes the death of another person after deliberation. That is what Gypsy did. It doesn't matter what happened to her, the circumstances. It doesn't matter what she got a plea deal and took. What she really did was first degree premeditated. And unfortunately, Nicholas is serving her sentence. wrongfully, and that is not fair. And if she deserves to be free, as much of a danger to society as she is, and that debt to society has not been rectified or paid, that is concerning that you think he's the more dangerous party. Gypsy Rose Blanchard utilized a whole human being into doing something like this for her. She's the dangerous one. Really think about it. She tried to take her mom's life in the spring of 2011 and again on June 14th of 2011. And everybody wants to think that he's the dangerous one. I really want to say that given the circumstances, war, self-defense, breaking and entering, that most human beings can be capable of defending themselves, their children, or their family to the point where they take somebody's life. Self-defense isn't considered a crime. War, it's not considered a crime. But this action of he's so dangerous because he took the life, he was manipulated into doing this action because he thought she loved him. He thought she was being abused. He was manipulated for almost 3 years into believing they exhausted all these other options. That's the point, is that from his perspective, that's what he thought. Nicholas Godejohn had never had any issues whatsoever. The McDonald's incident in 2013? Oh, that's funny. They met in October of 2012, and 2 weeks later, before November came, they were already officially a couple. Gypsy's own words in the prison confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard that aired on January 5th of 2024. Thank you, Lifetime, for documenting her words, actions, choices, and behaviors, because it's given us a lot. Okay, that's why society and people that don't believe the narrative, why we don't, because we have heard so many lies. And we're just like, what? What? So in 2013, he had been known to go to McDonald's. In 2013, it was not uncommon for teenagers or young adults to hang out at McDonald's to utilize their free Wi-Fi. I know people that used to take their gaming systems up there and update their gaming systems using McDonald's Wi-Fi because it was just better and faster. And at this time, he's looking at inappropriate things. I wonder who is sending those inappropriate things to him. Maybe his exclusive girlfriend who spent almost 3 years sending him over 150 videos? Not to mention all the pictures, the hundreds of pictures too. But if you want to know where the toothbrush thing came from, it came from Gypsy Rose Blanchard herself. And I know that they absolutely hate people talking about it and dissecting it and talking about it, but right here, it is so important. Oh, and by the way, I should actually mention this. That's on average. If it was 100 or 150 videos plus photographs, that's an average of one video that is in this kind of nature every couple days, every few days. And then I also show it in one of my videos where it talks about in his appellate process and all of this from the circuit court, his whole appeals filings from the circuit court, not the county clerk, not the sheriff's office. This. It actually speaks in a whole section about how a whole year plus prior to the crime happening, that Dee Blanchard, this is before he even came to Springfield to go to the Cinderella movie and try to meet her and impregnate her, that he, Nicholas Godejohn, had a phone conversation with Dee Blanchard, that they had spoken on the phone and that they had gotten into an argument on the phone. And you know what's really crazy about that? That tells you that she knew, clearly knew. And the fact that Gypsy's taking all of these role play, cosplay, sex photographs and videos with her mom right across the hall with her in their living room shows you that she clearly was not scared. She was not scared of her mother finding out because her mother already knew about Nicholas. They had phone conversations. And remember what Aaliyah Woodmansey said when Gypsy said that I'm going to have him come here and meet my mom and all of this stuff. She said, I really didn't think anything would come of it because, well, with him being from Wisconsin, I really thought that Dee had more control over the situation. Meaning that they did not think her talking to a boy on the phone and online was really going to result in anything. Surprise! And now she manipulates her friends, her husband and her ex, the same way she did Nicholas.